Hello everyone and welcome to my channel again, to another weekly journal. I am Catalina and I'm the person behind by Catalina Designs, and I'm happy to be with you again today. Okay, so I pick up the winner. By the time you are watching this video, I think she will get an email from my side because I didn't send it yet, with a coupon code from Furls. I do have your questions with all the participants who used the Google form for to get into this giveaway, and we have some questions, and I want to apologize to Julia. She was actually asking a question from last week, but I didn't check it. I was like, okay, when I was putting the description into the video and I was about to publish it, I was looking, maybe someone wrote me something, but it was too late because I already filmed everything, and I said, okay, I won't say anything about it until next week, but I will be happy to answer you, so don't worry, Julia. But first I will start with Ruth Glad, because she is the winner of my gift card from Furls. Congratulations! I hope you will enjoy your new Furls crochet or whatever you want to buy with it. And Ruth is asking me, how do you choose which technique, crochet or tricot, is more suitable for the piece you want to do? So yeah, I will have to say, because I tried and I had some failed attempts, even if with thicker yarn. So with thicker yarn, and especially because I wanted to use up some yarn from my stash, and I wanted to make this leftover yarn project, and working with many strands of yarn together to just give this marble effect and use as many yarn as I could. So yeah, and I realized that one is better, or the fabric feels better with knitting. So I tried to, because I made the cozy fluffy cardigan, which by the way I don't have a video tutorial, so I need to use up some more leftover to make one. And I wanted to recreate it in crochet, because a lot of people that only crochet ask, oh, I want that in crochet, I want that in crochet, but it's not the same. If I'm not using the same number of yarn held together, like 2 to 3 strands of yarn, it's not the same effect of the yarn. I could use thinner yarn, for example, I don't know, to put some finger in decay weight yarn, not to go to size 4 or 5 or something like that, and maybe in this way I will get the drape and also the texture of the holding the yarn together. So yeah, sometimes if I want to use leftover working with multiple strands of yarn, then I will definitely choose knitting, because it feels differently. But usually I'm trying to not to think about it, so I don't think I want to make that. So what it will be suitable for knitting or crochet, I just start doing things, and if it's working, it's working. If not, that's it. I'm sure that everything you will want to do, in the end it will be something. Like I was trying with the cozy fluffy cardigan in the crochet version. It didn't turn out to be as I was expected, but I have a nice vest, actually 2 of them, because it was the Dorea vest that I designed, trying to get into that the same shape and the same texture. Another thing is that For example, I had some recycled cotton yarn from Katia, which was designed as a yarn for homemade projects, so not or house around or bags, or it's a pretty sturdy cotton yarn. But I do love to make garments, so I loved the idea of using recycled yarn, so I tried to knit up top, which is the gradient top, because I wanted to use it. And in crochet it's not the same. It was a pretty thick cotton yarn. It's pretty stiff, it's not soft, it's not so, but it was perfect for knitting with 10mm needles. It has the perfect drape and I love it. So yeah. And also I knitted a cardigan with the same yarn, and it doesn't feel like it's not proper for clothes. So yeah, if it's something like this, maybe I will choose knitting. But I don't think about it. I don't have a project in mind and then thinking, oh, should I knit it or should I crochet it? No, I'm just starting working and see how it goes. If I started to crochet something and I see that, okay, this is not working as I expected, then I'm trying to do something along, change something to have, or simply undo it and try to make something else. Yeah. So now we will go to the Julia's questions from last week. He's telling me, thank you so much for making these videos. I love to watch them. Please keep doing that. I will. It helps me a lot, and it's always exciting what you are planning. Wait a minute, because I don't know if it's the entire. Okay, what you are planning. Your design is great. Did many of them. One question that I have, if I don't get exactly to your tension, I don't really know what to do. Is it better to use a bigger hook size, or maybe it will be good in the end after blocking? Always I'm doing size M and it's mostly fit. Okay, so this with the gauge, it's such everyone is making a big deal out of it and telling how important it is, and that yes, it is important in garments especially, but I won't put that much pressure on the maker. It's true that if you are doing, or your gauge is really different, like I had the other days, one lady which wanted to make the My Precious sweater, and she asked me, okay, I want to make a bigger size, so it was 2 extra large, I think, and she said, okay, I started with a number of stitches, but it's too it doesn't fit my head, so with the foundation chain. And then I asked her which was her gauge, and she was telling me from the beginning that she's working with a thinner yarn, and I was asking which is her gauge. So in the pattern I had like 17 stitches per 10 centimeters, and her gauge were 32. So this is a big deal because this was basically double of the number of stitches that I had in my tension. So for sure that you need to adjust the pattern, and from this, when you have such a big difference, it's difficult to just change the hook size into a bigger one, because I think she needed to go I don't know how many sizes up, so, and maybe it doesn't feel comfortable working with that thinner yarn. And in this situation I also always recommend to adjust the pattern. Some patterns can be adjusted. Some designers maybe don't want to get into that and give you the information how to adjust the pattern, because this means that basically the designer needs to create for you another pattern. So basically it's taking the math from the beginning, trying to align the design with your gauge, which is sometimes is possible if it's a simple design and it's not that difficult. Sometimes it's impossible. So I was talking with you, I think in this weekly journals a few videos back, how to adjust it to your gauge, a pattern, and it's working if it's a simple pattern, so you don't have, I don't know what combination of stitches or so on. If there is with simple stitches, it's okay, I think. But yeah, it's easier, for example, a 4-panel sweater to just adjust it to your gauge than a yoke sweater or something like that, because then most of the times you cannot adjust the number of stitches with the number of rows, because this is kind of different. What I will suggest, if it's a smaller difference, then yes, you should go with hook size up, or to try to adjust the pattern. It's not going from size small, for example. Okay, I will need more stitches because my tension is tighter, then I will go and work a size M. It's not working as this, like from size to size, so you need to check that first. I need to see in the end, okay, how many stitches I will have if I will do a size medium, for example, and check this and see how, or for example with your gauge you need to measure your bust, for example, and see, okay, in my gauge to get to the I don't know, 90 centimeter bust, I will need this this number of stitches. How many stitches are in the pattern for medium or L or so on. A smaller difference you can fix it with a bigger crochet hook, or a smaller difference from the gauge cannot make such a big difference in the final garment if you are in a smaller sizes range. The many stitches you have to work, then the much bigger will be the difference into the final garment. Okay, if you have 4 stitches per 10 centimeter off from your gauge, doesn't matter if it's smaller or bigger, then thinking that if you need to work like I don't know, 100 centimeters in circumference, this will mean 4 multiplied by 10 to get to that 100 centimeters. This will mean 40 stitches that you will be off. So 40 stitches might be I don't know, 4 centimeters, or might be 8, or might be depending on the gauge. So sometimes you can get a big difference into the final garment. If, for example, if it's with 4 centimeter wider, bigger, or 5, or 10, it can be even 10 at some point if you're working an extra large. So if you have 4 centimeters, maybe it's not on circumference, maybe in that ease you feel comfortable, so you won't get it. But if it's 10 centimeters, then for sure you will feel it and you won't like it. Again, if it's 4 centimeters smaller, then maybe it won't fit you. So it's really important. It doesn't matter too much on smaller sizes if it's a tiny difference, but on bigger sizes it's counting more, so you need to pay more attention on that. The more stitches you have to work, the more difference will be into your final garment and the actual measurements of the designer if your gauge is off. So first try to use a bigger hook size. This is like my final answer, and try to get to that gauge. Try at first to get your stitches looser. This is not, so changing your tension, this is not what I really recommend, because maybe you will get it into the gauge, but when you start to work the piece itself from you will get to your gauge, to your tension, to the one that you are used to. So this won't be helpful, because even if you're getting that small square gauge, then when you're working the piece it won't be the same. That's why it's important to check the gauge even along while you're working, because in this way you make sure that your gauge is not off and that you'll have a perfect garment. But for example, because now I am I made actually the second sample of my precious sweater, and my tension is off. So because it's been 4 years since I designed the first sweater, and at the beginning I wasn't thinking that my tension changed that much. So I started to use the same crochet hook, started to work on the same pattern, and in the end I realized that something is not okay, because I still had some rows to work from the yoke, and I said, did it get it too deep? Why? And then I measured, and actually I have with only one stitch and one row. So instead of 16 stitches I have of 17 stitches, I have now 16 stitches in my 10 centimeter, and instead of 9 rows I have 10. So which is weird, because yeah, so now I had to stop not to work all the rows for the yoke. And you could do that if your gauge is off, for example, for the number of rows. I won't be that concerned, because even if it's a yoke design, and you need to work a certain number of rows to get to the yoke depth, but you have the number of stitches, so you have the width that you need, then you can simply work a few more rows without increasing, without following an increased pattern, with the same number of stitches, just to get to the length. And after the yoke, then everything it's okay, because you can work as many rows as you want as a top-down sweater. So yeah, I think this was it. I hope I didn't talk too much and answer your questions. So the first thing that I will do is to change the hook size. And if I have more stitches, then you have to size up the hook size if you have more stitches into the gauge. If you have less stitches, then you need to size down. Okay? Okay. Then we have from Leslie, love your design, I like to enter to win a first gift, and please keep your design coming. I'm so sorry, I just picked a winner. I wish I could add more gift cards to give it to all of you. Lindsay asked me, it's not crochet related, but I'm wondering where you live in Europe. I'm living in Netherlands, and I'm from Romania. So we just moved here 6 years ago or something like that. Hilda, are you going to make more Tunisian crochet cardigans? So I want to. I don't know why I stopped doing this. At first I wanted to just be able to understand all the techniques. First of all, that's why I designed Tunisian knitting, crochet and everything, because I wanted to understand how everything is working. I found it really difficult to find Tunisian crochet hooks here in Europe. I think they are more popular in US. I did found a few from Knit Pro, and I have a few hooks, because this is also something is not working. I'm feeling like it's not working the same as the hook size. I always tend to use a bigger crochet hook just because I don't know, I want to get that drape, and it's quite different, so I never use the same crochet size as the size label requires, the yarn label requires, as I use it a bigger one. But yeah, maybe I will go back to that, I don't know yet. Elizabeth, are you going to make Elizabeth, I love your channel and website so much. You helped me improve my crocheting skills 1000. I love your designing. Their beauty and easy instructions have inspired me to start making sweaters. Oh, I'm so happy to hear that. Belinda is how long have you been crocheting? Love the pants. Well, as I said last time, I learned to crochet when I was 7, 8 years old, I think, but I just started in 2016, I think, to crochet again. And since 2017 I have the website, and then I think in 2018 it was with the sea breeze cover up and the My Precious Sweater. So basically when this designing process started with some great designs, but the patterns weren't that great at that time, but I'm trying to rewrite them, remake them, and try to get them to a proper shape. But yes, let's just say in 2017 is more it's more appropriate. Floor, enter the Fools contest. Yeah, you entered, but I'm sorry that you didn't win. Catalina, which I love everything you make, it's so awesome, thank you so much. And Amanda, which is your favorite first hook, resin, metal, Odyssey, wood? I'm using most of the time the resin, I think, okay, but this is with bigger sizes. I like them that they are lighter and you can work easy with them. But if I want to go to a 4mm crochet hook, I don't really know if the resin ones are in 4. I think the minimum size is 4.5mm crochet hook. Then I love to use Odyssey because I don't know, it's different. And I do avoid, this is my personal thing, maybe because I don't care them about it, but I did had a few in 4.5mm crochet hook like resin, and when I drop it by mistake on the floor, it breaks. So if you want to use the smaller size, and then as well with the woods, in my house is with the child and everything, it's quite a mess. So on 3.75mm crochet hook from the wood, my daughter just sit on it and it breaks. So for smaller hook size, I do recommend Odyssey or the metal one because they will last longer. But for a bigger hook, I love the resin, and I think the resin hooks are the ones that I have many of them in many from many collections, so I'm pretty happy with them. Okay, so this was with the questions that you have. Once again, congratulations, Ruth, for your gift card. I will send it to you after filming everything. And oh my god, we are already so into it. This is getting so long. Okay, so I will try in the next frame to just talk a bit about what I was doing this week, and maybe with this we'll finish this session because anyway I didn't prepare anything else. But yeah, I do have some hints for you regarding something, so we will talk right away when I will show you what I was making this week. Okay, so not too many things this week. I just told you at the beginning that I don't know where this week went. What I managed to do is to film the shorts, well, the first part of the pants. I told you that I want to make a video tutorial for the athleisure pants, and that's why I put the pattern on hold. So basically the first part is I think I have only one side here. Oh no, I might have them both. I think I have them both, but I have to look. Okay. Ooh, and already did it a bit. So yeah, so this is one side. like this, and this is the second side. I know that there are many designs out there with not having seaming, and I know that not many people are so into seaming, so this is the first. I need to sew the pieces together. Why I went for seaming? Because I could design these pants without seaming, so going in the round, but I do feel like sometimes seaming is giving more structure, or I don't know how to call it, but especially with the bottoms, because you're sitting, you're getting up, you're sitting, and sometimes you need those seams to just keep everything in place and not to get loose and have not that nice shape. Of course, it's depending on what you are using. If you are using to around the house, it's perfect, but if you want to go outside, maybe it's better to, yeah. So yeah, I will stitch them up filming this because I need to film this, and then I will go with the length, and maybe I won't finish this pair for the video because I don't want to let you wait that much, but I do need to film the joining part because this is really important, and also to show you the ribbing and what else we need to do. So this was the thing. I finished those two pieces, but then put it on hold because I tried to finish the My Precious pattern, and my feeling is that as many things as I learn about writing a pattern, about charts, about everything, and as difficult it became to write the pattern because I want to put so many things in there. So now I started to make a different chart because I changed the joining line into the increases, so I needed to change the chart from the previous one. Then I wanted with the armpit chain because I had some questions about it and about how to join it, and then I started to make some, because I cannot make a photo progress with all the pieces because it's not getting into the same pattern after finishing the yoke for all sizes. So I decided to make a small chart to show how many stitches and how the pattern is working at the armpit. So this is taking a lot of time, and I was working a lot on this this week. I just post this week on my Instagram account and even here how slow I'm going when working on charts. So this is taking me quite a lot of time. Okay, now next week I showed you that I ripped off the skirt, and now I managed to work a few more rows. I think it was up to here at the beginning. So what I changed with this, I wanted to not to be that wide and grow slowly, so I just changed, work more rows around before increasing. And I think now you could see the stitches that are lined to the right, my right, how you're looking at, but I will increase only in this side to try to make them look straight. So this is my progress so far with the skirt, and I was working in the evenings a bit on it, and I was showing you last week that I ripped off the warm me up sweater, and I managed to have the sleeves. I do have the collar, still struggling with it because of the yarn. I told you that it's so difficult, and I started this, which is not which is the cardigan version of the cloud sweater that I'm wearing. So I'm using the same 15mm crochet hook, and what I love is that it doesn't look like it's worked with such a big hook, which this is the same I was using for this one. I don't know if it's the yarn, but this is a different type of yarn, so it looks the same. And that what I wanted to tell you is that basically, and not any, I won't say any because maybe people will no, it's not that possible, but many sweater patterns design can be transformed into a cardigan. So if you don't like, or if you will want to change that, you can simply work like a cardigan. So what I'm doing, because this is with charts, so I'm trying to get that small section that it's repeated all around the yoke, and the chart for working in the round only on the right side is the same with many round yoke designs that I have. It's when you're following the chart, you need to follow from right to left, and all the rounds are from right to left, right to left, right to left. And when you're working a cardigan, you need to go right to left, and then the next round left to right, because you're turning. See, in this pattern it was easier because the every second round was without increasing. So basically the increases were working the same way. I was following the rows the same. And I don't know, this here is I think I don't think it will fit me with the sweater on. I think this is 2 hours work over here, and I'm planning to make a nice ribbing with smaller hooks, so it will get everything together nicely. So yeah, I'm pretty happy with this, and I think I will wear it more than the Warm Me Up sweater. So this was a win, I think, for my side, because I was using the yarn from a sweater that I wasn't wearing, so it's kind of recycling for my side, and I didn't had to buy another yarn for the cardigan version. So I think it's a good thing. So this was it for today. I did have follow, because I have this stitch tutorials that I want to make this stitch tutorials library, and now I started with this spring summer stitch tutorial. I do have some ideas, but I'm still searching about new ideas and nice stitch tutorials that are easy to make. And I found something that I really want to try, because I want to change something. I'm thinking that I will use it a different way, and if this will work, I think it will be so great. But yeah, I need to try it first, and then I will tell you what it's all about, and I hope it will work. If not, anyway, the original idea, which I found it on the Russian YouTube tutorial, and I think it's great. Anyways, it's looking better than what I was knowing about, but I won't tell you more. Okay, so thank you so much for being here for another weekly journal. I hope I will get into more things and new things to start finish stuff, as it seems like I'm getting stuck into what I need to do with writing the patterns and everything. But yeah, maybe in this period I didn't feel like I don't know, 100% to be here in this doing things. I felt like I know maybe it's related with having my driving license, because now having my driving license is like okay, I'm going shopping, I'm going to pick up my daughter, I'm going to drop my daughter to dance class, to swimming lessons, to everything, which were things that my husband was doing because he was the only driver in the family. But now I'm starting to do more things, and I think that's why, which I love. I don't complain about it, because I discovered that I love driving, so it's something that I want to do daily, at least until I'm getting better and better at it. And but it's taken me a lot of time, so definitely this is a thing. But yeah, I'm not complaining about anything. I'm happy that I'm doing this, and I love what I'm doing. So yeah, thank you so much for being here. I will wait for you next week as usual. Maybe I will have some new stuff. I'm sorry that I'm not planning anything out before with these videos, and I'm not really prepared all the weeks, but I'm happy to share with you what I have. Thank you for being here, and see you next time.